All right. So
And then I saw dough conditioner too, but it didn't have anything super sketchy. Sometimes those dough conditioners have, have you heard of azodicarbonamide?
No, tell me about it.
That's yoga mat material. They literally put it in bread. It's yoga mat material. And it's legal, and once again, illegal in Europe. RFK specifically talked about azodicarbonamide.
What would they put that in? Like a
Subway bread? Like Google Subway. You don't have to, but you can if you want. But just for listeners,
We're
also
doing it.
Google
Subway bread ingredient.
azodicarbonamide. Okay. Search Subway bread, and I'll spell it out for you. AZODI.
Here we go. I found it. Yeah,
dicarbonamide.
Okay. Yes, Subway bread previously contained azodicarbonamide, a chemical that is also used in plastics and shoes. When did they stop taking? When did they take it out? 2014, it looks like.
Yeah, when the Food Babe, the Food Babe?
Yeah.
She was part of that whole recent government thing. She actually brought this to everybody's attention because it was in Wendy's, it was in McDonald's. And I think most of the companies didn't remove it, but she specifically was picking on Subway in this massive, she had a massive campaign with a petition, and so many thousands of people, were part of that. And so she got it out of Subway, but a lot of other companies and a lot of breads in the supermarkets and stuff, they still have the yoga mat material in them.
Crazy. Okay. What about Wonderbread?
Well, it's just hyper processed, right? It's super simplified, and it's almost like just having straight sugar,
Here we go. Here's our ingredient list for Wonderbread. Unbleached enriched flour, wheat flour, malted barley flour, niacin, reduced iron, thiamine, mononitrate, riboflavin, folic acid, blah, blah, blah. So that's that whole thing. Then water, sugar. And then it says it also contains 2% or less of calcium carbonate, wheat gluten. So they put more gluten
extra
in.
Gluten.
Soybean oil, delicious. Dough conditioners. Oh, wow. Here's your dough conditioners. Can you read that? Lots of things. Let me see if I can pronounce these things. Sodium stearyl lactylate.
Yep.
Calcium stearyl lactylate, monoglycerides, mono and diglycerides, distilled monoglycerides, calcium peroxide. Okay.
So again, those can cause intestinal permeability. Have you heard this term, intestinal permeability? So I was talking to somebody recently about their gut issues that they have, and they had a lot of genetic risk for leaky gut, right? And then they said, but my doctor told me leaky gut is not a thing. And I'm like, what? Like, what? Your doctor says leaky gut's not a thing? We went to PubMed. Do you know what PubMed is? So for people that don't know, PubMed is the official government database for all the scientific research studies. It's got millions of scientific peer-reviewed studies. We went to PubMed and searched the term intestinal permeability. That's the technical term for leaky gut. And there was over 20,000 scientific studies on intestinal permeability, meaning it's a very well-established thing. You can't deny that it happens. And a lot of these different types of emulsifiers, which is most of that list, they basically make things, they make your gut more permeable. They make more holes in your gut, or at least more disposed to that. And what does that lead to? It leads to food particles coming into your bloodstream, and then your immune system panics and starts attacking those food particles because they're not supposed to be there. They're supposed to be digested into the individual building blocks. Like, think of Legos, right? You're not supposed to have like a Lego ship. You're supposed to break down the individual blocks when they come into your body. But if you get the entire Lego structure into your system, your immune system panics and starts attacking it. And then you develop all kinds of immune response, which is obviously bad because that can create permanent immune response. Or it just creates inflammation, which causes you to feel tired. I mean, think about if you have the flu, right? You feel tired. It's inflammation.
All right. Also soy lecithin.
Mm-hmm. Always with the soy. Yeah.
Always with the soy. Okay. And then it says soy lecithin, calcium propionate.
Yeah, that's a type of fat.
Retard spoilage.
Yeah, preservatives.
More preservatives.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so let's keep moving down the food aisle. So we just were in the bread aisle. I want to just pull up the Dave's product, Dave's Breads. You know what I'm talking about? Mm. So this is a company that we actually buy whole wheat bread from a lot. Mm-hmm. And it says organic bread, 21 whole grains and seeds. It's called Dave's Killer Bread. So this is a brand. They make bagels and all this stuff. Mm-hmm. But this ingredient list has always concerned me a little bit because it's pretty extensive and it has a lot of stuff in it. So let's take a look. Organic wheat, organic whole wheat, organic cracked whole wheat. Okay, that seems great, right? And then it has your cane sugar. That's like the third ingredient, basically, which it's organic though, which is nice. Organic 21 whole grains, and you've got a seed. So you've got organic whole flax seed, you've got sunflower seeds, you've got organic brown sesame seeds, you've got organic triticale, you've got rolled barley, and it says it's 21 grains. So you've really got 21s. And if you go down to the bottom, you get your salt, your yeast. What do you think?
Fine.
Not too bad.
No, I don't see anything major there, unless you have gut issues. Again, sometimes when people have gut issues, it's surprising how poorly they do with all those different seeds and grains. Not because of pesticides they're spraying, but because the seeds and grains have a lot of natural toxins that the plants make, defense toxins. Even coffee is technically a seed, right? That's why a lot of people, if they have a lot of gut issues, they do poorly with coffee. It's a laxative. They get diarrhea, their body's evacuating it. And if they have green tea with just as much caffeine, if they have like a really heavy dose of green tea, they're fine when they have a lot of gut issues, right? It's not because the caffeine is so problematic. It's a lot of times the seeds versus leaves, right?
Okay, let's get to the cereal aisle. We're going to the one that in some ways, and this has made Fruit Loops, I think, has gotten a special ire from the RFK world. And RFK had a video he particularly, I think, called out Fruit Loops was on the table, if I remember correctly, because of the dyes. But let's look at Fruit Loops right now.